clickbait titles I've been using. I figure all I need now is like some catchy thumbnails they probably use, get created using an AI software that, people crying and, Shooty shouting in disgust or something. Those stupid clickbait things, like you killed the show and dumb headlines like that on them. I see those everywhere. It just amazes me. But no, as far as I know, the show is not yet doomed. Okay, I've been seeing a lot of. All right, I saw one the other day. Someone sent me, and they're saying, or here's the thing: when we get leaks, and the leaker proves out to be right, then okay, I can say that source is credible. But the problem is you've had this leak now about, stuff going on behind the scenes, but we don't have anything to back that up. It does sound like it could be true. Yes, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying you have to be very careful with what you take as legitimate source material out there, because there are people out there who will make shit up and throw it out there and claim it's real. And trust me, I had this happen I don't know how many times back during the 50th anniversary year. Of course, we had it happen during the time when Jody was the doctor with the chaos and Cardiff thing, and they managed to convince even me that that was all true. And after you've been bitten like that, you get a lot more cautious, okay? You have to be very cautious, because we've got too many people out there spouting total bullshit, and sadly, a lot of these guys, make their living off making them, or just being miserable or pretending to be miserable, and all these other people want to join in and be miserable with them. It's really, terrible that, Misery Loves Company is still alive and well and kicking in the 21st century. Yeah, I did make a verbal slip yesterday about we don't know when Series 2 is coming. I meant to say we don't know when Series 3 is going to be filmed, but I'm glad somebody caught me on that. It happens. That's one of the hazards of doing live broadcasting. None of this is scripted, unlike a lot of other channels where you can sit there and tell they've been writing this stuff out. I don't do scripts. Even when I did my, basic video uploads, nothing was ever scripted. I would go back and fact check things sometimes before I put a video up, and then I would do a little editing, but that was it. But okay. So we know now Shooty's going on. Oh yeah, side note, on this day, June 17th in 1982, the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, was born. She's now 43 years old. Probably one of the youngest actors out there. And of course, I am very glad that, this July, the 13th Doctor Adventures will go on Big Finish. I just wish they could get Peter Capaldi in there. And the guy they got doing Matt Smith, Dudman, he ain't bad, but I know Tennant does stuff on occasion, but please don't. Yeah, like I say, please don't ever have the Dudman do Capaldi Adventures again. No. He does excellent work with the 10th and 11th Doctor, but his 12th Doctor is very lacking. I'm sorry. It's plus it's kind of funny how short she is in relation to other doctors and stuff. As you can see in the photo I have up on when I met her, like I said, she literally had to throw her arm all the way up there just to get her arm around my shoulder. And she did that of her own accord. I was so nervous I couldn't even speak. I was like, this is somebody I've never, thought I would ever get to meet in my lifetime, let alone even for a second, all right? I do too. I think... Oh, Dudman left Big Finish. Okay, I didn't know that. Like I said, I'm way behind on my Big Finish. Did he get canned? Did he leave? Or did they just not up his contract? What happened, I wonder? He was doing okay work over there. I guess. I don't know why they had him reading the monologue for Sarah Jane's funeral, which is beyond me, because that should have been read by Tom Baker. But That little. Okay, I had no idea Dudman had left. Okay, I'm like I said, I'm not up on my big finish. You know who else whose name you hardly ever see anymore? Ingrid Oliver. I wonder why. With that winning personality, how could anyone resist? Okay, well, there's if you go look up Chicago TARDIS as our current guest list up. There's, like I said, they got the actress who played Anita. Um, Crap, I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but there's a lot of interesting guests this year. So, and I try to keep my numbers down on that because what we do is we get all that stuff done on Friday, if possible, because that way we can just take a look around the rest of the day, and then we go, Saturday we'll just, hit whatever's left, and then we get out of there. It's just, she don't like leaving the cat alone overnight for one night, let alone two. So it's been a long time since I spent the whole weekend out there. Besides, he wouldn't have any of it. Oreo would be really pissed. Okay. He gets mad when we leave to go to the store to a doctor's appointment. All right. But back onto the subject. Yeah, no, the show is not doomed. No. Oh, trust me, I found that out the hard way. For a comedian, she really has no sense of humor. Yeah, plus the weather. Like I said, one time we left pretty early and I'm glad we got out of there. Otherwise, there was a lot of people who were snowed into the hotel that one time. They couldn't leave until it was like Sunday, or Monday, sorry. Okay, I didn't, like I said, I've been so busy just trying to stay awake long enough after work. That's one of the reasons I told them I hadn't been on in so long, because they've had us on 9-hour days forever. And when you get home, 8-hour days I can usually do standing on my head. 9-hour days, after you've done a few of them, they wear down on you. Used to be, I would be up all Friday night, either scanning the net or pretty much playing Fallout 76, and I can't even do that anymore. Like I said, I'm lucky if I'm even still awake in the evening on a Friday, or even a Saturday. It's even worse. Well, there probably won't be any more Saturdays. Reasons we'll discuss at a future date. At least no more Saturdays for me for the foreseeable future. Oh, BKB. So let's get back onto the subject. No, we are still in limbo. We've still not heard anything definite, okay? Now, if Disney turned it down, then they've turned it down very quietly. Because I haven't seen anything in the press yet, the legitimate press, that the show has been, not renewed by Disney. But here's the thing. Like I said, even if Disney does turn it down, there's going to be others out there who are going to be interested in picking it up because it's a long-time series. You can go just about anywhere with it. It has a long-standing legacy. But here's the thing. I kind of do believe that there is another faction who's looking into it. I do believe they are talking to someone because what they're saying makes sense. If someone else is coming in, well, the show's always Prime Minister who? Rasuko. I'll just call you PM for short. Well, PM, the problem is the show's continuity and canon has changed so much in the last 60-odd years. There's no way to keep track of it all. Like I said, I was really pissed in this last episode, like I said, when they changed Omega's story on the fly, because Omega was kind of meant to be, he didn't intend to be where he is, and he was not banished there. He was there as a result of originally the story was he was the stellar engineer, and he took the duty of flaring up the supernova, which led to the first time travel facility. So even though they call him the first time Lord, poor guy spent a lot of time in a timeout in a black hole, okay? I know, they should talk to, all right, I'm going to screw this up. Is it John or Joe? I always say JMS, and I keep forgetting what the J is for. I think it's Joe Michael Straczynski. Please refresh me. I always mess his first name up. I don't know why. But JMS, we'll just call him that to be safe. If there was anyone who's going to take over the show, I would love to see JMS do it. He more than proved in Babylon 5 he can plot, write, and carry off a long-term series. And Babylon 5 also, you'll notice every character in that series had a trap door. So in case he lost an actor, well, shit, that's what that thing is that's annoying me. Get off me, you shit. Ah! Flying ant in their car. Great. Those little buggers are out. I hate them. All right. But when you go back and watch Babylon 5, like I said, he had a trapdoor for every character, so if an actor left, he always had a backup plan to take up. And like I said, go watch the series, look at the characters, and you'll see how the plan was. If someone had to drop out, like I said, Michael O'Hare had to drop out at the end of season 1. It's not because he was fired. It's not because he quit. It's because he had to leave the show. He left voluntarily because he was having trouble with schizophrenia. And if there was anyone capable of doing it, JMI. But the problem they're having is this. This other content, or what you got, distributor, wants more creative control. RTD will never give that up in 100 years. The BBC is not going to drop RTD, because if they drop RTD, I guarantee you, Julie Gardner will take Bad Wolf, take their toys, and they'll go home. Because she's going to back RTD's play. They've been a team for, how many decades now. Well, Joe Martin did pop up. We just didn't expect her to pop up when she did in the story in the engine. Like I said, you're not going to get rid of RTD anytime soon unless something dramatic happens, because and like I said, if they tell RTD to pack his shit and go, I can pretty much guarantee Julie Gardner will say, okay, we're going with him. Now you've just lost the studio, your filming facility, and all that. But sometimes you do have to make sacrifices. So you ever eat corn the long way? Trust me, you don't want to discuss corn. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you the story of what my dad told us they used corn husks for. Okay. Back when he was growing up. Sometimes you couldn't afford toilet paper. We'll just leave it at that. All right. Yeah, you ever go down south? You see that little thing in the souvenir shops? It's a used corn on the cob. And it has a fake electric plug on it. It says the electric toilet tissue. There's your hint. And they of course had to put a little side note on saying do not actually plug in, because morons would do it. But like I said, if there was someone I wanted to have creative control, yeah, I could say GMS doing it. Because these last two finales really disappointed me. They did not deliver. They were nowhere near on par with stuff we've seen RTD put out for a series finale. No, he has lots of leverage, because if he goes, Bad Wolf goes. The studio goes with him, which means they're going to have to set up their own studios, and a lot of the stuff you've seen them do over the last few years is because Bad Wolf has filming facilities that are right on par with most major motion picture studios. They even had that green screen environment room, which is basically how they filmed the Avengers. Well, I just looked at the time. I've been going way over these last couple of days. Sorry, I'm getting a little phlegmy this morning. It's the pollution index, stuff like that. Okay, so to sum up, no. The show is not doomed as yet. I've been using these catchy clickbait titles because they seem to work. Sadly, everybody wants to be miserable for some reason. I know being human sucks, but being alive pretty much be the best thing you can be, you know? Sure beats being dead. Oh no, I said one of them forbidden words that you can't say on YouTube. Ugh. So be kind, everybody, please. Be kind, be calm, be safe. We'll catch you all tomorrow. And remember, Thursday, we will likely not be here because that's Juneteenth. I have that day off. So, and Saturday, we likely won't be here either. We'll discuss that another time. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.